Before I start the parts review, I'll be going over a little story background from where the Shiranui second and the Takemi Kazuchi stories originated from. The story came from Muv-Luv, which was a visual novel series. There were 3 of them total: Muv-Luv Extra, Muv-Luv Unlimited, and Muv-Luv Alternative. And 2 of them, Muv-Luv Unlimited and Alternative, they were both set in a different world, as in those worlds getting invaded by these aliens called the Beta, which the Beta consists of multiple alien species, and this is one of them, the tank class here. These things are small, they jump at you, they bite metal, eat humans, basically that, but these are really scary. But getting back to the story here, basically in our world, such as the F-14 Tomcat, F-15 Eagle, F-16 Falcon, the SU-37 Terminator in our world, well, they all basically become giant robots called Tactical Surface Fighters, or TSS for short. So to counteract against the Beta invasion here, Tactical Surface Fighters, or TSS, were built to fight against them. So that's why there's a Takemi Kazuchi and a Shiranui and many others. But as of right now, there's no real story variant of the Shiranui in our world. There's no such thing as an airplane called the Shiranui. But this thing is a cool robot, and let's get on to the review. Here are the legs for the Shiranui second. For detailing that I did with my pan line markers, I pan line the circle and line there, the curved lines here, the circle there, and some of the lines there on the thigh. And I used black on this dark piece here on the knee, if you can see that circle and this line there. But for the pre-painted pieces that comes with the version DX, the gray here on the knee and the white on the foot here on this black piece here on both sides, those are painted for you, so you don't have to deal with the hassle of painting that in yourself. But you buy like the other Shiranui seconds, that would usually be most of the kits will usually be one solid color and not 2 colors, so saves you the hassle of painting this for the Yuuya Bridges custom. And as I mentioned before, there's 2 types of blues that comes with the kit here for the joints. So which I use clear blue here inside the knee, and I use the flat blue on the joint for the knee and the ankle joint there. So that's actually plastic, not painted on parts, unlike the Takemi Kazuchi, which those pieces there need to be painted on. For articulation, the upper hip pieces here can rotate side to side. For bending the knee, you bend this piece up, the thigh can bend about that far, and for the lower leg, that much. So you get a great range of mobility out of the legs here. And when you bend these back up, the knee goes back into place. For the ankles and foot, the ankle piece can go forwards and back, side to side. But then for the joint in the foot connected to the ankle, the foot can go that far back, and you bend the ankle forward, the foot can go that far up. But the back piece here in the foot does not have any mobility, but for the front of the foot here it does, and go up about that far, down this far, and also the foot can go side to side of it, as there's a ball joint connected with the front of the foot, so which it can add some more mobility. And that is the legs of the Shiranui second. Next we have the waist and the jump units. For the waist, I use gray panel line marker for the white pieces here, and then use black for the black pieces here. And as I said before, again, I use clear blue and the flat blue on the kit, so I use clear blue on the waist here, which is pretty effective. But for articulation, the main cross unit here can move up and down. You can see here, as sometimes you may twist the leg forward, and you may need to move this forward as well. And then you have these side units here, which can move up and down, as you can see here. But if you move them too much, they will pop off their connection points here, so you have to be really careful with that. But for connections, you get the ball joint to connect the waist, not the waist, the waist to the upper torso, and you get the 2 leg connections for the 2 legs, and you also have the 2 connection points for each of the jump units that comes with the Shiranui second. And for the display stand, you get a connection point here. If you remove this cap, it will show a peg there which will connect to the display stand, but this is the waist. Next we have are the jump units, as you can see here. Again, I use gray panel lining for the panel lines here, and I use black for the black pieces there. But for articulation, you have a ball joint here on the jump unit which can rotate 360 and go up and down side to side. And then you also have this circle type of polycap here which can also rotate 360, but when you pivot this to the side, it can only pivot about that far and pivot back this far back. But that's all you get for the pivot points. But for most of the mobility is in the ball joints in the jump unit and in the hinge here. But that's all for the waist and the jump units. Here we have the shoulders and arm units for the Shiranui second. Have one arm here completely assembled and the other arm disassembled to show you the articulation. But for the Collection DX parts here, the Rising Sun on the arm shoulder there and the XFJ01 on this arm here, they are wire size, but they apply them on for you when you buy this kit, so you don't have to worry about doing it later, as it saves me the hassle of using top coat, decal setter, and decal softer so the wire size can stay in place. So which I'm glad they did this for you. But for panel lining on the arms and shoulders, I use gray on the arms and black on the gray on the white and black on the dark colors here. For articulation, the thruster vents here can move up and down, as you can see there. And for the shoulder piece here, you can go down about that far under. Move the arm out here, and you can move it that far up. Other moving pieces is here on the shoulder. This thing can move up forward and back, as you can see. And for the shoulder, it can move about that far this way and this far in, as here. But you pull this arm out, this upper joint can rotate here in the lower shoulder piece, and then you can bend this back and bend it back into place in the shoulder. Then for the bend out of the arm, you can bend about that far, so more than 90 degrees at least. And then when you bend this elbow piece back, you can bend the arm all the way back like this, about almost 90 degrees, so which it can shoot backwards. They have the assault cannon, as it is mentioned in the Muv-Luv story. But that's what the articulation looks like with the arm assembled. But for the disassembled arm, so you can see here, articulation from the elbow is the same. Bend this piece back and you can bend it almost 90 degrees backwards, so it can shoot backwards with the assault cannons. Then for the joint here, this thing can rotate side to side, and then this thing will hinge up, go up about that far and down about that far, and this piece can go up and down and connects to the polycap that's in the shoulder. And also the mobility in the shoulder is the same as the one with the assembled arm, but here you have the polycap to connect the arm to the shoulder. And these are all for the shoulders and arms for the Shiranui second. Here we have the hands for the Shiranui second. You get 5 sets of hands. For the first set of hands we have here, you have the assault cannon hands, and these hands would hold the assault cannons, as you see here. One for the right arm, one for the left. And you only come with one hand for each arm for holding the 2 assault cannons, while the other 2 are on their mount pylons. But yeah, these hands would hold the assault cannons here. For the next set of hands, you get 2 open hands. And also I did some panel lighting in the open hands here as to be more detailed. But yeah, you get 2 open hands here. Next you get a set of closed fists, which would not hold the weapons, and they're just stationary if you just want to put it in the arm and make it look stationary, no weapons holding. Then you get two different sets of sword holding hands for the Type 74 CAWS or the combat daggers, as one hand keeps the Type 74 CAWS more upright like that, while the other one holds it more towards forward position, as I'll show you right here. So for this hand, you would unplug it, then you grab the CAWS here, put it in like that, and then plug it in. And that's how this hand holds the Type 74. So then for the other hand, let's connect that back in. For the other set of hands, same thing again, you unplug the fingers there, connect it in like that, take the fingers, this thing stays in place, take the fingers, and then you plug it in like so, and then it will hold, the hand will hold the Type 74 CAWS more forward like that. But you get two different sword holding hands, so these are all the hands that you get for the Type 74 CAWS. Here we have the torso and the head, as you can see here. For the pre-painted pieces you get for the version DX, this gray here you see on this lower section is painted on for you, and the head crest here is also painted for you, and the black there for the visor for the eyes are painted on for you. But that's all. And for panel lining, I use gray panel lining for mostly in the head, use some gray for the torso here, and black on the dark pieces of the Shiranui second. For articulation, it's all you get in here is the head. It can go down about that far, go up about that far, it can go to the side here about that far, and side here about that far. So it cannot go 360, but it has a very limited range of mobility here. But that's all the movement you get here in the torso, as here are the connections for the shoulders and arms and the lower waist. And this is pretty much it for the torso and head. And also during the assembly, I broke the small antennas that is on the head of the Shiranui second. As you can see here, it doesn't look right. The reason was that when I built this, I have big fingers here, so when I was trying to put these pieces in, I snapped this piece here while trimming it, and I tried to fix it with Tamiya clear cement, but the cement couldn't keep the small piece in place, so I took it off and left it as it is. So this is the head and the torso.